First of all, thank you very much for giving us such a good reference. I don't have any questions, but more of a comment. I noted that the Japanese chart is in meters, which is quite interesting because I was a very heavy user of charts, and I remember clearly our charts were in fathoms and feet. So I'm quite astonished that the Japanese were already using meters way back when.
Actually, 19th century, they were early adopters of the metric system.
And the second point is I noted one chart where there was a fire top, and I remember burning into a fire top. It was always a nightmare.
I see.
I'm so glad they cleared it up now and it's part of our city and no longer used for ships.
Thank you for coming. You want to contribute all these stories or somewhere? Must tap your memory.
Hi, Bob.
Hello.
Thanks for the very good talk. In some of your earlier, in your first section, some of the maps are not numbered, so I can
Yes,
roughly tell
unfortunately,
you.
because a lot of changes.
Okay, so there are 4 sections, right? So in the first section, before the slide of HMS, before the slide of the Diana ship, there were some old maps, and in a lot of the old maps, there were a lot of numbers at the seas. So I was wondering what did those numbers represent? Yeah, I'm guessing that, but I'm not very sure.
That's the thing. Okay. Yeah. All the way to... Which one? Section 1?
Section 1. Before that picture of that Diana ship.
Oh, I see. Diana ship.
Yeah. So before, all these maps, I'm guessing it is the depth, but not very
All
sure.
these, yes. This is what, saying the, all these numbers are in phantoms. 6 feet. 6 feet. 1 phantom, 6 feet. So the Chinese writing is 寻找的寻 with the 口字旁, yes. Xun is like that.
Yeah.
You extend your arm. Xun, that's why got hand in the word.
Oh, I see, okay.
And the chun inside.
Oh, because I was guessing maybe it's that, but I don't know what
Yeah.
sort
So
of
this is a critical concern. If you misinterpret the thing, I think Xun, yes.
Okay, thank you.
With the mouth at the side.
Okay.
Critical. It's actually on the Japanese chart. They have this character on it, the kanji on it.
Thanks, Bob. Can you go to the map, one of your earliest ones, where Singapore, where Sentosa was listed as Goa?
Goa, the first one.
I'm curious about this because in an earlier map in 1603, the Iridium map, Sentosa was already listed as a Blackhan Martin, B-L-A-T-A-N-M-A-T-I. But in this one here, which is so much later in 1819, Sentosa is listed as Island of Goa. Why is that so?
Because they came from British India.
Calcutta.
Yes. So Goa was Portuguese.
But so
Not
was
British.
so was the Portuguese map of the 1603 map, the Iridium map.
Iridium map. So it's a different sort of management. So they honor their own people. But this one I think probably because Goa is on the Bombay side of the eastern coast of the Indian Peninsula. Just probably the name. Then there was St. George's Island also, another name for these areas. So they all use the British or their familiar Indian
So
geography.
they actually created their own
they created one.
ignoring past names.
Yes. Ignoring, either they're ignorant, usually they're ignorant because those charts now you can see it very easily. In the past, it's not easy to see even for this. And East India Company things are actually top secret. The punishment was death. So that's why the Calcutta Journal was sort of like abruptly stopped business. And the editor and founder was banished from India.
So
because he revealed too much company secret.
So when you mentioned St. George's Island, who gave that name?
I do not know. Probably the chart maker or the captain of the vessel or something. So it's only appeared in some charts. They have all these interesting names. They are not we are not familiar with today. Yeah, all these names. There was actually an earlier one, 1822, where the Fulton future Surveyor General appointee, he actually surveyed the thing, the Franklin survey. So all the Mackenzie's Island, for example. Mackenzie is his boss, Surveyor General of India's name. Yeah, so they use all these names that he is more familiar with. He's not familiar with the local name. This is 1819. The surveyors actually are based in Macau and in Bombay. So they move around Macau and Bombay, surveying the routes at that time. So they are not familiar with the local names in detail. So they just name somewhere they are familiar with. Port City, Goa, port the name there. Probably, this is my speculation. But they really ignore the thing. So in the starting of these names, a lot of changes here and there over time. So you have to identify this one equals that one, equals that one, that one. So there's actually a database of all this. Some enthusiasts are doing that. Like Sentosa equals to what name, equals what name and so on. Yeah, even Brunei also, Water Island and all these things, Button Island and all this.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions?
Hi, Mom. Hi, I'm Adrian. Just by sitting here and you sharing all the maps, I feel smarter already. Yeah, but taking a lot of notes as well, because I'm also researching on some matters in the areas of concern. Just want to highlight this map as well, which I thought that was very interesting. And this map is actually 1819,
Yeah.
correct? And it's very detailed. Maybe we move one step back before this island of Goa. I have maybe one observation, and maybe from Mark yourself, whether you may also be able to enlighten.
This one?
Now,
You're referring to this one?
Yes, correct, this map. So, this map by Captain Ross would show us the shoreline, correct?
Yes.
But what was interesting to me is also how in-depth he has gone in. We can see that they are going into the rivers as well.
Yes.
Alright, and I thought that, wow, that was interesting because if you're doing the first map, generally you try to go the coastline. And my observation is that I'm just wondering how deep would you have gone in? That's the first question. And what kind of boats would you actually use? Because as you go deeper and deeper into, I believe that would be Kallang River, yeah?
Yeah, that's Kallang River.
Yeah, and
yes.
Kallang River is also a place where there's a host of activities. I mean, even as late as 1970s, 1980s, you're looking at shipbuilding and so on and so forth. I'm just interested to maybe a hypothesis as well from your side. How far they've gone in and what kind of boats do they have to use? I mean, if we take it that you show us that the steamer that he has, I doubt that the steamer can actually go in.
The steamer I show is some decades later.
Yeah.
This is actually the ship's name for this was the Margaret and Francis by Ross, and the person assigned to survey is Captain Lieutenant Crawford at the time. The ship commander is investigator. The tender to Margaret and Francis, usually they go in pairs. At that time, they have a tender to help the thing. So they survey. The boats are typical boats. I'm not a boat historian, but small boats are. The one that's Cyrene used to fake the pirates' prow, the kind of boats, small boats that carry on the main deck. Yeah, usually that kind of thing. They actually go out because Raffles had to land in Singapore. So there must have some boats that he landed in Singapore, the same typical boat. So when he landed in there, the surveyors would just go there and do something, look see. Because the investigators captain left a very detailed journal, and that journal has been discovered in the earlier 20th century. So the transcript is now in the National Library. And the introduction to that journal is interesting. It is for his wife, to account for his journey far away from home, because he was newly married and he was immediately assigned to this East India operation. So to let the wife be at peace, not at peace, be more, how should I say, what's the word for it? Yeah, not too worried. So he wrote very detailed things, what time, what date, doing what, and this and what he saw and everything, who he interacted with, that becomes a very interesting detail. So to me, like for example, a lot of history books say Singapore's population probably 150. At the time, a lot of accounts say hundreds of people only in Singapore at that time. But to him, as a surveyor who's used to the China coast and Chinese face, he says 1,000 over people who came up to the shoreline and see this big. So I would tend to believe him because he has no vested interest to make claims or to suppress information. He's a surveyor by training, his profession. And so surveyor, the word is to record what I see. So he recorded what he saw and he wrote down anything. And then it's to count to the Y, okay. So cannot anyhow say. So you put one more zero there, I think I believe it. So thousands of people in Singapore. So the account, very few people cite this account. But I use this account more, I think value more than all the general ones that they talk about, wow, Raffles came, only 100 of people are civilized, all this stuff. And there are many Chinese. He know because he was surveying in the Macau area, how Chinese look like and dress. And he say how they dress and look. And how they came out to the shore and see them. So that is interesting account. I forgot the name of this journal, but it's available or not for, if you are interested, you can read it, the transcript. Luckily, there's a transcript. Yeah, it's not typescript, someone typed it up. 1937, I think it was actually sort of like extracted and published in the Straits Times. So you check Crawford, A-E-I-O-U, I have to use this to say, because the second resident of Singapore is also Crawford. So A-E-I-O-U, I use the A-I-O-U vowel because he came first before that one. So his Crawford is a O, the other Crawford is a U. Too many Crawfords. So this Crawford, Captain Crawford of Investigator, so he left this interesting journal. And how far they went in, I do not know, because at that time we do not know the configuration of Kallang River. It's quite complicated. But what's interesting is, he actually noted this, the Sultan's Negri. See the word here, Sultan's Negri. So this intrigued many historians. Negri is what, land or something, state or something. Yeah, his realm or something. Yeah, so actually he actually noted this. This is not inside the official 1820 edition. This has been deleted. Shall not use the word censored, just simply ignored and deleted. So a lot of words actually appear in the original thing. Mangrove, Malay village, old walls of the city. Even the old lines, what Crawford, later our residents say the old lines. Stanford there's an old wall, the old city wall. All these were recorded here. And it's missing from the, that's why I purposely bring up this thing, you see? No low wall, nothing. No Negri, just say creek, nothing. Yeah? Highly stylized and cleaned up version. This is the official one. So if you look at the official one, this is the impression of Singapore you get. Yeah, that's why they took action on Calcutta Journal. I think.
Okay, thank you so much. Just to wrap up, because one of the things that will be interesting and we can transplant ourselves back in here, it will also be the Orang Kallang, around that area.
This is the thing, some of the researchers of all these original inhabitants area will look at it, look, goodness, there are so many villages there.
That's right.
And then got Negri somehow, this kind of word is very big, it's sort of like realm, this kind of thing, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Do we have time for one or two questions? Is there any other question?
Thank you, Bob, for a wonderful talk.
Thanks, Chuck.
Your chart, the SG60 chart, you showed that the coordinate system was WGS84. So I'm wondering why is it not SWI21? Because I believe that's what we use when we log into the siren.
Correct. Can I say here, it's branding. Different countries want to brand it differently. So the essence is WGS84. That's the American Department of Defense nomenclature system. Started with 1960, World Geodetic System 1960, World Geodetic System 1966, World Geodetic System 1972. Now, one of the stories I left out is the Common Datum Chart. They used WGS 72. So that was the first time satellite, sort of like geodetic datum was used in Singapore. And then it was updated with 84. So when Singapore wanted to adopt this, it was actually published as SVY 95. So it conforms to international nomenclature system. That means you have your whatever name, your system name, plus the year. So 95 was the year Singapore uses the WGS 84 system. But because of the local environment and so on, we call it Survey 95 system. Just a local name, Yeah. Then somehow, when the 21st century approaches, somewhere, like Punggol 21, you heard before, PS 21. So all the 21 start flooding the sector, this big sector. So somewhere during one meeting, one afternoon only, go in before SCY 95. After the meeting, 5 o'clock, come out SCY 21. So that is the black box that I know of, because I left the service already. So I do not know what transpired during that meeting. So after the meeting, SCY 21. Yes. Which one? The SUI, ST1 or GST1? Okay, sorry.
The difference between SUI 21 and WGS 84 are two different Sorry,
Just a minute.
graphical reference platform.
Now, DJS 84, if you look at all the charts, it's all in degrees and minutes and seconds. Because navigation is international, ships move on UK, Singapore, across the world. So they need a global reference system. And the reference, of course, is Greenwich, 0 degrees in longitude, and Greenwich is an equator zero. So it is a spheroid. DJS 84 in technical terms is a spheroid. Primarily used by GPS and by the satellites. It's a satellite-based spheroid system. SDY-21, predecessor, which Mark says is Soviet 95, but it is a Cartesian reference system, X and Y. So it's meters, right? So it's people on the ground likes to use meters. If I give to POB or to SCDF, meet me at 103 degrees and 1 degrees north, and so on. So what are you talking about? So if you tell them, okay, it's just like X and Y, northing is X meters, Y is certain meters, and it's easier to work because it's rectangular. So it's two different reference systems altogether. So whether you work underground and telecoms and so on, so land surveyors are very, very comfortable with the metric rectangular system. Going up at sea is very vast. 3/4 of the world is covered by waters. Degrees and minutes helps to unify a common reference system for this. So they are different, but through translation, there's a way to correlate the rectangular system with the before the spheroid. So just a small correction that there are two different reference systems. Sorry, I just needed to clarify that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight.
Thank you, Jamie, for the clarification. I try to avoid technical things. Wow, nightmare.
Okay, any more question? Maybe the question from here. Maybe you also know Jimmy is from SAN mapping unit. Therefore, professionally, he's very sound. Please talk to him to know more.
Allow me to ask the last question. Mark,
Yes.
why should people still interested about map and chart? How you relate this today the talk to the current context? Especially if people come here curious without much knowledge. What you want them to take away?
I think yes, go back to why people draw maps and charts. Why? I think it's the, first of all, the world is so big, you can't see most part of it at one time. So the traditional word is scape model of the earth. So you can see more of the places. You cannot go everywhere. So if you look at a map, you can sort of like transport yourself to certain places that you want to look at and to understand the interactions of the places and the people and so on. So I think the interest, this is my personal interest in maps and the charts, is to be able to see places which I don't have the chance to access. For example, you want to go to the Singapore Strait there and see Singapore deeps, the deepest point of Singapore water, impossible, right? But in the chart I can see and point, it's inside the chart. So I can show and point to you this interesting part. That part is actually 200 over meters. It's deeper than our highest point of 163 meters on land. Yeah, for example. So all these interesting places, the chart can bring you. Yeah, or places like how many of you have been to Mount Everest? Yeah. So I take a map of Mount Everest, point, there. I'm staying above Mount Everest, and I can see a holistic view of the whole range, not just that mountain peak, and look at it. I can see. This is my perspective. And why is it important? Yeah, this is the importance of it. However, just now I learned, interestingly, that this is no longer in service. People use electronic charts now. And the other thing is, in other presentations, I've already said that our topo maps have been sort of stopped the sale to public. Of course, I'm trying to change that. But luckily, I can still buy charts, paper charts of today. Then the other thing is, I forgot to mention, the last part, print on demand, very important. If you do not demand, there won't be any printed copies in this world. It's all in the computer. So I have to try and save money every year, buy one chart or something. At least there's one copy that is in my hands or a physical copy to show and tell. Otherwise, it's all in someone's computer. And that's it. This is the interesting change in technology and the way of delivering and maps. Yeah, and our official storage government agencies are not aware or not putting it as a priority. So if you go to Archive's website and you check the chart collection, you see a sudden drop over the years. Now you don't see new editions because of this new print on demand. No one is printing and no one is sort of like sending their old charts to the archives for storage, for curation. So this is the interesting development. And to me, it's a concern because it's easier to look at a chart like that than to use the software one, because the software hardware can go out of date, like Apollo, the project, the Moon, the US Apollo project. A lot of their data are lost, digitally degraded, and those surviving one, you don't have the device to read the tapes. So two problems. So this is actually an ongoing problem with digital technology and digital data. So it's just me, and I suddenly realized during this that my hair is going grey and greyer. So I'm now telling things that actually my old bosses are saying. So that sort of like shocked me also. Yeah. So now Quek asked me this kind of question. It set me on a very reflective mode. So I stand here. So I wonder about my life also like that, flash through there. Yeah, this is the situation. But I'm seeing this, these few years, we are now in this transition phase. Now with this AI and all these things coming in and the mapping industry, wow, again, all jump onto the bandwagon of AI. Geo AI, all these funny names come out. Yeah, but what's the implication? Nobody think about it, nobody talk about it, because the people with the money keep pushing this technology. So you are able to stay like that. That's why I'm still like IFC. I try to write to them for a job. So Quek wants me to put the thing in very reluctantly because he's the organizer. I respect him. I put it in because if I write to them, no job. So this is the situation. So too traditional. So now it becomes like that. So I'm like holding on to old things. But I find all these things have their own value. Because like for example, if you don't do it, other people are still doing it. Then how? So like because I was involved in the Peter Blanca case, you don't publish your map showing I own this place. Other people publish it. How? So people after 20 years say, hey, you never published for 20 years, but I have. That's it. So this is my personal concern. But who am I, right? Yeah. So the only thing is can thank you for your patience and taking the effort to come here and listen to me grumble. Hopefully